Hi everybody, I just wanted to come back on tonight. Evidently when I went live earlier tonight, it wasn't actually going live. I wanted to explain to you what happened tonight. I see that there's nobody on yet, so I'll give it a second. So I wanted to explain to everybody what happened, because I know Catherine alerted everybody to know that I was coming on live, and the whole point of it was for me to start at about 6:45, and it didn't end up working out that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through what happened. I want to use this as a way to empower you to go and do what I just did tonight, because it did affect some change. And I'll explain to you what happened. So first of all, the Open Meetings Act. I've got some papers in my hand, so sorry if I'm looking down and not really in the camera. The Open Meetings Act, one of the first things is that during an open meetings, things such as your school board, it's a violation for them to, number one, require you to wear a mask. So tonight I went in and I tried to not wear a mask. They, of course, I had them recorded. I'm hoping that when I downloaded the video, I'm hoping that I got the whole thing. If not, I actually have two other parents that showed up, and I'm sorry, but that is really sad. With everything that's going on right now, I was really hoping that there would be at least 20, 30, 40, 50 parents. There were three of us, myself and a mom and dad that showed up, and they're actually grandparents of children that they have. So, they opened up the board meeting and they've already violated the OMA because they make us write our names down and what we're going to talk about when we address the board. So that's a violation, and I can actually quote it for you. If you go to your Open Meetings Act, Act 267 of 1976, down under my ability to go live, tape record it, do whatever. Sorry, I'm old school. I guess we don't tape record anymore. It actually says in Section 3, number 1, that the right of a person to attend a meeting of a public body includes the right to tape record, videotape, to broadcast live on radio, to telecast live on television the proceedings of a public body at a public meeting. The exercise of the right does not depend on the prior approval of the public body. So by them telling me that I need to fill out a form and give that to them, really what they should be saying is we're now opening up for public comment. And that should all, basically you raise your hand and they say, okay, we'll hear from you. They don't have the right to have your information. Right now, I truthfully believe that it's just simply for contact tracing. So they do have in that same line, however, a public body may establish reasonable rules and regulations in order to minimize the possibility of disrupting the meeting. So that's the reason why I encourage all of you, if you go to a board meeting, don't be disruptive. Don't be rude. Don't argue. Don't say bad words. Don't be confrontational. When they asked me to write my name down, I specifically asked them, so in order for me to speak, I have to give you my information. I was trying to document the fact that I was pointing out to them that they were violating the OMA. So, part 2, all the decisions of the public body shall be made at a meeting open to the public. The reason why I'm telling you about that is because our school started out the school year with K through 5. This is Montebello Community Schools. Montebello right here on my road. They opened up with K through 5 only wearing masks in public areas. And because of the health department, after Whitmer's, EOs were found unconstitutional, they were withdrawn. The health department came out and said, no, you have to follow these things. So they're holding on to those as being laws, which they're not. We all know that. Number 4 is what I want you to hear, and that is a person shall not be required as a condition of attendance at a meeting of public body to register, otherwise provide his or her name or other information, or otherwise to fulfill a condition precedent to attendance. Number 5, a person shall be permitted to address a meeting of a public body under rules established and recorded by the public body. 6, a person shall not be excluded from a meeting otherwise open to the public except for a breach of the peace actually committed at the meeting. Meaning if I didn't want to wear a mask, they technically couldn't have kicked me out. So the other thing I want to make mention to you, the reason why my school really irritated me was because when we moved here back in May, I kind of waited a little too long. I got my son enrolled in school, and I've always been, I don't know if many of you have seen my videos, I have a special needs child, and I have fought schools in New York, I fought schools in Texas, and now I moved back to Michigan, and I'm perfectly fine with the school my son is in. He goes to a very, very good special needs center, and they are ADA compliant. He does not have to wear a mask. They offer it to him, and when he says no, he doesn't get forced to wear it. So I appreciate them in that. So what I want to do right now, because I don't think it got on there, is I want to read to you what I said to the school board, and then I'm going to tell you what it affected. So after I got done writing on my form, putting my mask on, being a, you know, good little compliant person, I hate masks. Obviously, we don't want to, no, we don't like face diapers. So I went and I sat down, and during the video you would have been seeing the floor. There was, you know, a little discussion going on between the board members, and then it became 7 o'clock. They started the meeting. The superintendent gave what she feels is the direction that they need to go, that they do have possible policies set up to get going. If and when the health department is found unconstitutional, they're going to wait that long. Well, I had something to say about that, and I did have all of their attention. I asked God to keep me calm and help me to just speak and make sure that they could understand what I was saying. So here goes what I told them. Article 8, Section 1, Religion, morality and knowledge being necessary to good government and the happiness of mankind, schools and the means of education shall forever be encouraged. Section 2, every school district shall provide for the education of its pupils without discrimination as to religion, creed, race, color, or national origin. First, the law used 333.2253 is unconstitutional, void on its face. Government employees take an oath to uphold the state and federal constitutions. MCL 15.151 says if you work for any government entity, you must take the oath of office in Article 11, Section 1. It's your legal obligation to not, repeat, not enforce such orders. You're violating your oath by doing so. Take a stand against them. 333.2253 only allows for 3 things: prohibit gathering, ensure the continuation of essential public health services, enforce health laws. Requiring everyone to wear a mask has nothing to do with setting up procedures to continue to ensure public health services are in place, or that those procedures are essential. While providing masks to the public might be considered a public health service, mandating that everyone wear a mask is not. You're not helping to provide a public health service in school. Second, schools for education, not mandating health choices to my child. That's my job. Mandating masks is making a health decision for my child, and you are not allowed. You need my permission, and I don't give it. Should I send you medical bills when our child has a skin or lung infection from the mask? Can I hold you responsible for negligence when they cause sickness in my child? If you cause other sicknesses by your policies, you're responsible for harming my child. If parents neglect their children as mandated reporters, you call CPS. Is that the recourse parents should take since you're neglecting our children's needs? Not accounting for the kids with sores on their noses, sore throats, dry mouths, and forcing them to breathe excessive CO2? Third, have you employed a PPE expert to train staff and students in proper PPE donning and doffing of masks? How are your masks being stored and cleaned? If the virus is so dangerous, where are the biohazard bins? Masks get shoved in pockets and touched by dirty hands, creating a problem with possible bacterial pneumonia and impetigo. What is the purpose at school? You're simply teaching compliance. No more. The CDC shows 70% of people positive for COVID wear masks all the time. Unmask our kids now. With masks, they have a higher risk of contracting it as well as other things. Fourth, Michigan School Code 380.1307B, Statement of Prohibited Practices. Yes, this is something that's been discussed, and this is what I was hoping to get out there for everybody. It is an argument as a parent that I want to make with the school. So under the prohibited practices, the deprivation of basic needs, the damaging lack of material benefits considered to be basic necessities in a society. Oxygen's a basic necessity, not breathing excessive carbon dioxide. F, a mechanical restraint means the use of any device, article, garment, or material attached to or adjacent to a pupil's body to perform restraint. Sounds like a mask to me. H, any restraint that negatively impacts breathing means any restraint that inhibits breathing, to decrease, limit, or block the action or function of something in the body as an enzyme or organ. That's what a mask does. Just as you don't have the right to put duct tape on my child's mouth, you do not have the right to mandate masks on children. Both are a form of restraint on the mouth, and it keeps them from breathing properly. A mask deprives them of adequate oxygen. It's a restraint that is attached to their body by loops around their ears, further inhibiting breathing. Therefore, you cannot mandate masks on students. It violates school law. Unmask our children now, or you're complicit. And yes, the way I just read it to you is exactly the way that I read it to the school board. They gave me between 3 and 5 minutes. I timed myself and I could read that in under 3 minutes. I had a lot more information in there to begin with, but I was going too fast, and I wanted to make sure that people were actually hearing and could tell what I was saying. So I slowed it down and I took out things that, yes, every school board member, every school official will be getting an email from me tomorrow that outlines every single one of these with links provided. I'm trying to get a hold of PPE expert to give me a small snippet, but I wanted to do this and I wanted to go live. I was hoping that you guys could all see it. I was scared to death, but as a parent, you are the only person who can do things for your child. You need to get out there, because 3 parents, when there's 800 students in the school, 3 parents, are you kidding me? No, you need to round up all your parents, all your children's friends' parents, and if they're all in agreement with you, you all need to go in as a united front. You need to go to that school board, because you know what we did, just 3 of us parents? We got one school board member that is pretty much, from the sounds of what he said, on our side, and now he has just moved, put in a motion tonight to have a public forum for everyone to have a chance and come and address the board. Now we do have, I think she said she was an emergency room nurse. She is saying, well, public opinion isn't really something that we should have, that we're listening to. But you do, because now I have found a law that is possibly arguable in court. Catherine has gone over the law. I spoke with her just before I printed my statement out and went to the school board. So some of it may be arguable and you wouldn't win on it, but the deprivation part, that is the big one. Part B of Michigan School Code 380.1307B. Under B, Part B, the deprivation of basic needs, it falls under that. So if we can find any schools or any attorneys that can step up and take these people to court and prove to them they are violating school law. I'm sorry, but your health department code does not trump law. Our schools are governed by laws of their own, and the schools need to stand up and say no more. And that discussion happened in that board meeting right in front of all 3 of us parents. A school board member spoke up and he said, I move for an open meeting for parents to come and have a say. So I am asking you, I'm begging you, you have a responsibility to your child. Get out there and tell them how you feel. I'm going to be putting my speech up. Of course, you'll have to, make it your own for your own child. But these were my thoughts. And most school boards will give you 3 minutes. Some will give you between 3 and 5. Your bigger school boards are probably going to have a little bit different happenings. But also, if you're not going to go Facebook Live, at least record it. Record everything. You have the right to. You don't even have to ask permission. Just do it. And make sure that you're documenting the violations of the OMA, because guess what? Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be filing those OMA violation complaints, and that's a $1,000 fine. So look up your OMA. Again, I'll give you that so that you can look it up. I'll provide links up in the top of this video. It's your Open Meetings Act, Act 267 of 1976. You need to read it, you need to know it, you need to document it. So I hope you guys all had a good night tonight, learning a little bit more, and hopefully I've helped empower you to do more as far as a school board. Remember to go to restorefreedomkh.com, and if you are not involved or if you haven't signed yet, help us. Get involved and speak up. I guess the masses can affect change. Have a good night.